What is going on, Movie Meals? Tomorrow we will be doing the first Weaver Wire live stream. It's going to be something that'll be out weekly, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I believe is what I am. So please come and be a part of that. We're just going to talk about whatever you guys want. I'm fine to talk about all the things I love. So Star Wars, Marvel movies, television, whatever, anime, whatever you guys want to talk about. You'll lead the conversation. If you choose not to, I'll just ramble on more about Star Wars. But let's get into it. I just finished The Morning Show. This show is Apple's kind of big hitter that they came out with for their new platform and their streaming service. And I gotta be honest, before we dive into it, non-spoiler review, it's a very touchy subject matter, and I just want to put that out there. So I'm going to try to word everything very carefully so I don't misinterpret anything, that my thoughts are very clear. Because I don't necessarily love the show, but I don't necessarily dislike the show. So let's dive into it. So I gave this show, I watched the first episode right when Apple had dropped, which was like November 12th or something. I watched the first episode and I was not a big fan, and I chose not to continue watching. I just wasn't digging the way a lot of the characters were being portrayed. It wasn't the subject matter. It was just, nothing hooked me, and it made me want to keep watching. And I usually try to give a few more episodes in before I'll really quit on a show, but for that, there was so much content out there, and I was curious of some of the other Apple shows. I decided to go check those out. I ended up not really digging any of those either very quickly. There's a few I still need to try, but like C, I think is what it's called, the Jason Momoa show. I got maybe halfway through, and I wasn't a big fan of it. There's nothing hooked me. So the morning show come back around a couple months, and both my mom and sister had watched it, and it had been getting all these award buzzes with the Globes, and I was like, did I miss something here? I'm hearing high praise, and what did I miss? Because I had heard from a few critics they didn't really like the beginning and the middle, and then the ending was good, and vice versa, and I wasn't sure, so I decided to retry it, and I ended up finishing it today. It's taken me a while. They're long, 10 episodes at an hour. Some a little over an hour, but so I finished through it, and I'll say I think it's a good show, and I'm interested in to see what season 2 brings because of the way it ends. Not to give any spoilers, but going through the show, there are moments I'm kind of like, I'm struggling to hang on because it is a touchy subject matter, dealing with a media conglomerate and a morning talk show, TV show that America loves. Going through a lot of what real life companies have gone through with the disgusting acts of a lot of higher ups and covering up sexual abuse or being a part of it and all that disgusting stuff. But as a show as a whole, I don't necessarily love some of the writing. I think it does a pretty good job of handling the subject matter, but some of the characters, the characters I'm supposed to root for, that I'm supposed to be like, no, let's stop this. I just didn't necessarily love the way they were written, specifically Jennifer Aniston's character. I did not really like the way she was written. There were scenes I was like, that's it, that's what I want. And there were a lot of scenes it was like, it's hard to care about the problems I'm watching that are separate from the main storyline because they're not really painted very likable. But Jennifer Aniston does a great job portraying it. It's on the page. I just didn't like what was on the page. Reese Witherspoon, I very much like. I don't necessarily love how she's used all the time, but I like her a lot more than consistently throughout the show. Steve Carell does a very good job handling a very difficult character that is surrounded by so much controversy. He's playing the character that is kind of wrapped in all this. I won't give any real spoilers away. Anything I might say that might feel like a spoiler would be revealed in the first few minutes of the show, or even in the trailer. So Steve Carell does do a good job, and I do kind of like the way that character's handled, and I know that's going to sound weird because it's a disgusting character that is written, but the way they use him in the writing, I think, is the moments where the show really shows how horrible this real life stuff is and disgusting it is, and that worked really well for me in the writing room. Billy Crudup is by far the best character in the entire show. I think he steals it by a long shot, and he's a little cartoonish, and that's why it worked for me so well, because while everybody else is dealing with certain things, he feels very cartoonish, and he's just like, I don't care, I got 80 things I can do. I'm doing this because it's fun. Like that's what his character was, and I enjoyed that. But overall as a show, I liked it, and it got better as it went on, to the point where they were really keeping you on a cliffhanger every episode to keep your engagement. It worked enough for me after I got a few eps in. So again, I'm a little behind on the show, but I did just finish it. I am interested in the season 2. But I do think the show struggled a little bit with its character writing and development, for some parts. But again, the touchy subject matter, the very serious subject matter, I think is handled very well. But overall, so yeah, good show. I don't really know if I have any more thoughts. I get the award buzz, but I also don't. I think there are better shows out there. As a whole, as a show, When They See Us, a Watchmen, I think are better. And seeing this get award buzz, I'm happy with it because I like the show enough. But I definitely am sitting there being like, what about a When They See Us, which was in the characters and in the writing, and it was just touchy subject matter and it's intense. That's kind of the groundbreaking thing I wanted, which this didn't hit that well for me. But overall, it's a solid show. I am interested in season 2. I'm very curious how many people have actually been watching this show for Apple, because you just don't get any of the numbers. But anyway, so guys, that's my quick thoughts. If you've seen the show, please comment below. Let me know what you think. Go check it out if you haven't. I would recommend it. I think it's at least worth a shot to try. It might not be for everybody with certain things or whatnot. It is it is an intense subject, but if I would recommend it to friends, to at least give it a shot and then go from there. But anyway, if you have, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Please check out all the stuff we've got going on. We got Oscar reaction, got a Morbius trailer review. The live stream will be tomorrow. And hey, as always, thanks for watching, Mom, and we'll see you guys.